Come in.
Hi,
Hello.
how are you today?
Very good. How are you?
Pretty good. My name is Bhavsar. I'm a sales representative
meet you.
for Salesforce. Who do I have the pleasure
Mark
of meeting with
Yoni.
today? Mark Yoni? Nice to
Yes.
meet you, Mark. How's your day going so far?
It's going well.
Going well? That's good. How about that storm?
Yeah, it was always seems to come through either late at night or early in the morning.
Yeah,
So
I got woken up at like 5 a.m.
Yeah, it gets the pets all going crazy. So
Yeah. Did y'all lose power at all, or?
just for a minute here or there, but it came right back on. So we were good.
Okay,
So,
that's
how
good.
about
That's
you?
good. Same here. I had friends though that still don't have power till today.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah,
crazy.
certain areas seem to get hit a little harder than others.
Right, right. So I know we have 15 minutes scheduled here today. Do you mind if we jump right into it?
Sure, absolutely.
All right. So I know Salesforce is looking for, or I'm sorry, Lennox is looking for a CRM. Can you tell me a little bit about your current process and how you manage your customer relations?
Sure. We use a lot of Microsoft products, and primarily Excel.
Excel. Okay.
So when we look at trying to scorecard a prospective dealer, we sell to a dealer sells to a homeowner, so it's a B2B situation. We're asking our salespeople to evaluate prospective dealers. We have our methodology, it's all in Excel, they fill it in, tells them whether that's a ABCDF kind of opportunity. Um, and then they're providing that back to us in a summarized form. But we've got 200 salespeople,
Right.
and we have 26 districts. So they aggregate it at that district level. They send it to us, and then we have to try to summarize it.
Okay.
We also have a lot of programs we manage at Lennox. A lot of different marketing programs, a lot of sales programs. So when you look at what customers are doing in those programs, we have to send those files back to the field so they know how their customers are doing. So, we don't want one territory manager to have information for the whole country. So we got to cut those files up into relevant files. And so that can be time consuming for my team to do that. So,
Okay.
a lot of manual work, a lot of aggregation, in what we're doing today.
Okay. So if I just understood that correctly, it's really slow for you guys currently, the way you guys are doing things, and then again, it's split up into a whole bunch of different.
Yeah,
exceptions.
it's more time consuming than anything.
Okay.
And I report to our VP of sales, and they want to see information aggregated at a company level.
Right.
So, if I don't have all the information, then I'm providing partial of what I've received so far. And then depending on how long it takes to get that information, it might be 2 weeks, it might be 3 weeks after we've received it all. Now their view is stale, right? And
Right.
so when we're trying to manage what our pipeline of opportunity is, there's just not as much confidence that we're truly seeing everything that we need to at that executive level.
Okay. I understand. So it's also creating a little bit of an issue for you as well at a personal level.
Yeah, I mean, my team is responsible for aggregating the information and managing the processes we have today. That was part of why I was brought in, is to understand the current state and look at what new things could we do.
Okay. Before you get a little bit further, tell me about your decision-making process. Are you the one that has the final say, or?
Not the final say, but I'm one of multiple stakeholders.
Okay.
So my team is doing the initial discovery and evaluation, and then our VP of sales will be, the ultimate decision maker, because it's his sales team, and does he want to make a change in what they're doing. But also IT will be involved, because this will take some level of investment, and we need to make sure that if we're running something at an enterprise level, what things do we need to know on getting things set up on the networking side, the security, those kinds of things.
Okay. Gotcha. So, how secure is your current platform with using Excel?
It's as secure as our salespeople want it to be. As I mentioned, we don't try to send out massive files. We have to divide them.
Right.
But, every salesperson signs a confidentiality agreement that they are not going to take it with them. But obviously, to improve that situation as well.
I understand.
Yeah.
And then again, you said something about sending files to and from different people. Have you ever had issues with maybe sales representatives calling prospects multiple times before?
Um, I don't know about calling multiple prospects. What I would say is it's more about understanding the fuller picture of what's going on. So, when we look at the information that they have available to them, it's knowing what the customer already knows or doesn't know. So there's kind of two sides. There's the prospect who they're trying to uncover, and so they're going to be the one who knows how much they've interacted with them. So that's not as much of a big issue. It's more our issue of, do we know everything that they're doing,
Okay.
right? For when it relates to their existing customers, every territory manager owns about 20 or 30 accounts that they have in their territory. So us getting the information to them so they know how to manage those customers. What are they doing in this marketing program? What are they doing in that sales program? That can sometimes, be an issue if we're not getting them the information they need so they can manage that relationship most effectively.
Understood. So with Salesforce specifically, we have a cloud-based system.
Okay.
So everyone will be able to see that information, and then your territory managers can be able to split it up just through our Salesforce program. They'll be able to, so every single territory manager can only see what the admin puts up. So you'll have it all organized. You don't need to split into multiple files. As far as like data entry goes, if you are worried at all about the switch from Excel, which is again a lot of data on that Excel sheet, to our CRM Salesforce, we do have a real-time data entry. It is called, Data Wizard. So we can upload a bulk of that Excel data right onto Salesforce, and you'd have seamless integration. And speaking of integration, do you guys use any other products other than Excel right now? Do you use maybe other Microsoft products with your business flow?
We're using Word. We have contracts that have to go out in Word or PDF format. We're using PowerPoint that has a lot of product demos and things like that. So, we're using the full suite of Microsoft products. But when it comes to data sharing, most of that is done via Excel.
Okay. And do you guys use like communication through Microsoft as well, maybe like
Yeah,
Teams?
Outlook.
Yeah. So with Salesforce, we can actually integrate all that. It's
Okay.
all in one place for you. There's no need to go to different programs. You can have everything right in front of you, and then just building on to anything like that. Salesforce is highly customizable. So if you guys have any issues, anything y'all would like to change, we have 24/7 customer support, and you can also reach out to me directly, and we can work out with whatever y'all need to do. And then how do you see Linux going if you still use Excel in the next 5 years?
We're a 130-year-old company, so I think we'll be fine. I think it's just, are we missing out on additional opportunities? Right. So we've been able to be successful. We have a lot of salespeople that have been with us 20 years, 30 years. So that's another piece that I'm concerned about, is just change management.
Right.
When you're talking about people who've been with us 20 years, a lot of them don't like the computer. This is another thing we're asking them to do. So, what does Salesforce do to help with change management? What are other customer stories on how they've been successful? So I'd really like to understand what you're doing with other companies and how they've been able to make that switch, because I'd like to learn from them if we're going to make that kind of switch. And the reason we're considering it is we know we have to keep up with the times, but it's also what's the right level of that, and how quickly can we move with not disrupting everything that we're doing today.
Okay, gotcha. So about the training, a little bit about Salesforce, it doesn't take too much time. It's around 2 weeks. We also have trailhead modules within our Salesforce. Basically what that is, it's little training modules that your salespeople can complete. It'll teach them how to use.
How much does that cost to use?
It's free.
It's free.
Yeah, it's free with any license.
Okay.
And even if you don't have a license, if you'd like to learn a little bit about it beforehand, it's also free for you to access. So it's just right on our website. It'll give you all the modules, all the training you need for Salesforce. And as far as switching over from Excel, like I said before with Data Wizard, we can just upload that bulk of data right over. We can do it portion by portion if y'all want to move a little bit slower with it. Completely understand something like that as well. Um, and then, do you guys have any issues with maybe like lead ranking, organizing your accounts at all?
I think the biggest thing there is really the accessibility of the information.
Okay.
And and again, when we're asking our salespeople to do 10 in-person sales calls per week,
Right.
so that's 40 per month, and then out of those 40, they should have about 12 that are prospecting on average. So we don't know how much of that's happening because
Right.
we're not getting any visibility to that.
Okay.
And we know that those who do those activities well, we see the result. So, part of the other consideration for a CRM system is what do you do to manage activities? And again, I don't want to increase their non-selling time, but if we have people who aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing, we don't want to use it as an HR tool, but we do want to use it as a sales productivity tool.
Okay, you just want to kind of track their metrics, see where they're at.
Right.
So with Salesforce, a great thing that we offer is tracking stuff like that. So your territory manager that's in charge of all of those sales reps, they can easily sort by any metric that they would like. So volume, how many prospects they've contacted that month or that week, that day even. Uh, do your employees have company phones?
They do, yeah.
We have a Salesforce app. So there's no need for a laptop. There's no need to go back into the office. I know entering stuff in Excel is pretty hard with your phone. I've done it myself. It's annoying. You click the boxes.
Yeah.
They don't always click right, So Salesforce is app friendly, mobile friendly, on the go. It's also cloud based. So anything your sales reps update in the field, you will see in real time. Therefore, you get the numbers as soon as you can. I know you mentioned reporting to your higher ups as well earlier. You'll be able to gather all that data just in one place, and it'll be instant.
Okay.
And then, do you guys have any issues with maybe security at all?
I mean, like we talked about, anytime you're passing files, there's always
Right.
the risk that if someone leaves, they take that information with them, even though they've signed a confidentiality agreement. And then, so yes, we're concerned about it, but I'm also want to understand more about Salesforce's security.
Salesforce. Okay.
It's in the cloud. It's not on a server.
Right.
It's not on premise. So I know today, whenever we have to terminate an employee or they leave, we cut off their network access so they can't get into Excel and other
Right.
things that are on our work computers.
Okay.
So if they forwarded files, okay, then they forwarded files, but I know they're not getting into our Linux systems.
Right.
So when it comes to Salesforce and being in the cloud, how is our information being accessible? I would assume that other companies can't see our information, but what is Salesforce doing to keep our information private? And then what can I do to make sure this territory manager just sees what they're supposed to see and that executives see what they can see? How much time does it take to manage that?
With Salesforce, it's really simple. All you need to do is just set the permissions for those specific licenses. So your territory managers can only see a set amount of information. As far as security goes, everything stays with you. We manage stuff on our cloud-based database. So if your local server goes down, you'll have access to your information still. We use enterprise level security,
Okay.
lots of firewalls, so there's no
Okay.
risk for anything like that. And then I know we're running a little bit short on time. Would you be okay if we set up a demo later on? I can bring a engineer with us, and
Sure.
we can have a little bit of a demo.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, awesome. And then could I also get your phone number and your email? If that's okay with
Yes,
you?
972-497-5186. And my email is first name mark.yoni, it's my last name YONAI, @lennox.com.
Alrighty. It was a pleasure meeting with you,
Nice
sir.
meeting you
And I
as well.
look forward to our next meeting.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, just stay here 1 second.